Welcome to Basically Sci-Fi, the short storytelling podcast where we tell stories you can basically call sci-fi. I'm Jared.
I'm Todd.
And I'm Adam.
And today we have a story from me.
Yeah!
As has been said the last couple of times, we are back to our regular stories. So for a brief recap, some stuff happened, and then I believe
there were
happened.
things. Yep.
Yeah. And so now there's a planet, and there's robots, and people. And yeah.
I have a question. Are the robots really respectful, like house servants?
No? What gave you that idea?
Do you mean like to the giant robots? Because they are... everything they've ever said has been rude.
Yeah, they act subservient, but they don't speak subservient.
Okay. That actually is kind of a distinction, huh?
Yeah, to a degree.
Yeah. Oh, and do they talk like that to the giant robots, too? I guess that is a question.
Yeah, they just talk like that.
Oh,
Doesn't matter if you're a robot or a person.
Right. But the giant robots don't actually have as much free will as the butler bots.
No.
They are more intimidating, but they're actually far less complicated.
Yeah, they're just meant as like scarecrows, essentially. Ward off other people.
Oh, that's good. I really wouldn't want my walking nuclear silo to have a crisis of middle age or whatever.
To be sassy.
No one gets sassy suddenly and buy a motorcycle.
What? A midlife crisis.
I don't know. I feel like a sufficiently complicated robot could have one of those.
But that would require it to know what its lifespan would be.
Yeah.
We all know appliances only last 20 years.
Yeah, but presumably you can repair them still, and therefore their lifespan is indeterminate.
Yeah.
Especially an intelligent robot that can repair itself can continue to go.
Are they getting to the ship of Theseus bullshit,
by replacing parts?
If you replace all the parts, is it the same robot?
I listened to your upload recently, and so we got the return of Randall, and we had some scene setting where everything was getting put back together and the cities were getting rebuilt.
Mm-hmm.
And they went to go consult Frunga, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the woods.
Yeah.
But because I just listened to that, I can't remember what happened last time.
The giant robots at that point had been congregated together, but they needed to split apart, so they all went to different continents.
Oh, okay. All right.
That was the gist of what they were attempting to accomplish in that episode. Anyways, my episode this week is called Moving Around.
Moving around. Yeah. This is about jazzercise.
No.
Fuck.
Glorda and Randall sat alone in their house. At the start of their journey to the new homeworld, they'd been young and hopeful pioneers, looking for a place to call home. But time, grief, and in Randall's case, abandonment, had left them weary. It didn't help that Glorda had taken a leadership role in the new government, nor that Randall had become so used to the solitary life in the time it took him to catch up with the Ark. Sure, there had been brief stops to barter for fuel, but these usually involved brief interactions with people who were at work and didn't want to deal with some broke idiot trying to sell them inventions in exchange for hydrogen. So he had taken to wandering, walking around the city, looking at everything the people had managed to build in such a short time, half-constructed buildings and sculptures. Or, more accurately, marble slabs and dingy art studios waiting to be carved and placed on plinths in town squares. He came to an out-of-the-way little coffee shop with some outdoor seating, where an elderly gentleman sat looking out at the largely empty street. Randall decided to stop and sat at a table next to the old man. Why did you sit next to me? There are plenty of open tables. You some kind of creep? The old man asked. No, not really. I just wanted to ask how you're liking the new planet and see how your day is going, Randall replied. Well, as for the new planet, it's fine, same as any other. Maybe not quite dank enough for me, but my day's been miserable. You're the first person to say a word to me. Everyone else is too busy. Except,
Oh.
What are you? Some kind of government worker? An agitator? Looking to sow dissent in the elderly? Either way, not what I'm interested in. Have you tried being nicer to people? They might want to talk to you more then. Nah, can't be asked. They're never nice to me, so fuck 'em. Take this morning, for example. My partner of 50 years wakes me up by screaming and running away. Nearly jumped right out of my skin.
Rude.
Are they usually a cruel prankster like that? Only when I've done something to deliberately piss them off. But I can't for the life of me remember what it was. And I take it you haven't asked what it was. Of course I did. I got nothing. Just silent, weepy contempt. You still haven't told me why you're here talking to me, though. Well, I have been in something of an antisocial funk, and I thought I'd have a chat with someone. See, I showed up a little late to the party on this new planet, so I chalk it up to just settling in mostly. I thought both of those guys that stopped in died. I can tell you, I didn't. The second guy did, though. He blew the fuck up. No, I heard from my daughter, who said her friend's brother was there. They got blown up something fierce. Well, believe what you will, but here I am. What I think is, you're working for the government, trying to steal my money, or indoctrinate me into your political party, or maybe, just maybe, trying to incite violence in the elderly population. Yeah, you mentioned that. Why would anyone try to do it? I don't know. Why would you try that on me? I haven't. Randall was now thoroughly confused by this conversation. Damn it, I thought that might catch you out, get you to explain it. I don't know. You aren't working for the government. Then what do? I'm between things right now. But I used to be a government scientist. I helped launch the Ark. At this revelation, the old man had something of a breakdown. I knew it, he shouted as he ran away, presumably back home to explain to his wife that the government was actually following him.
Is he just gone now? Is he just out of the scene? I hope we follow him to his house. You said presumably, but I do hope we continue to follow him.
We don't.
He's just gone.
Well, that is the perfect excuse to never leave the house again. Or maybe just leave the city for good. Now there's an idea, Randall said to himself. When he got home, Glorda was already there, which was some surprise given that it was the middle of the day. What brings you home so early? He asked her. Well, I was working with the butler bots, and they got all defensive because I called one of them a douche. They spent like 10 minutes rambling about the proper use of the word, so I just left.
Did they pull the whole thank you? That's a hygienic product. It's a compliment.
Probably. Some of them did, at least.
They are douches.
Well, in this potentially vulnerable point of frustration with your work, it seems like it's the perfect time to bring up the idea I just had about leaving. I think we should move out of the city, Randall suggested ever so delicately. What? Like to the suburbs? You know that only assholes live in the suburbs, Glorda accurately pointed out.
What an unbiased narrator.
No, not the suburbs. I was thinking a little further away. The southern continents seem like they could use some exploring. So, you're asking me to leave my job and move to a different continent with you? And nobody else? With no plans for how to survive once we get there? Glorda said incredulously. Well, when you put it like that, it sounds insane. Sure. But, other than that, why not? I think that's more than enough reason not to. But we also just agreed with the defense robots that they could use the southern continents to hunt. And I don't like the idea that they could find us down there and assume an open season on people as well. Couldn't we let them know what we're doing? If it makes you happy, we can go talk to them. Sure, but whether they're okay with it or not, I'm still not sold on it. So the idea of uprooting the life I've just settled into to go homesteading on a deserted continent doesn't sound too appealing. I was thinking of it as more as an intrepid exploration. So you don't want to settle, just roam? Maybe. I don't know. Well, you are being quite convincing.
I knew that's how it was going to go.
You're always so reasonable.
You are being quite convincing. Alright, let's pretend you've convinced me. Now, we should go check with the robots before you convince me that even mentioning the idea would call into question my own mental stability. When they arrived at the local giant robot's home, the butler bots were standing out front, waving their taser swords around and yelling at seemingly nothing. Looks like a calm day on the manor. Hardly anyone's even shooting, Glorda said to Randall as a warning shot flew inches from her face. She raised her hand and called to the bots nearby, saying, "What's the matter today, folks? We are trying to scare away that old fuck that came by earlier." Loincloth replied. "Dude was crazy. Kept saying everyone was ignoring him, so I tried to talk with him with my sword. But instead of getting scared and running away, he tried to hug me for being so nice. Well, I wasn't taking that sort of insult, so we opened fire and he ran away. We've just been continuing to shoot randomly, so he doesn't come back." "I see," Glorda said, not seeing. "What do you want anyways?" Loincloth asked. "We were hoping to talk to Anno about visiting the southern continents," Glorda said. "Well, whatever. Go ahead. What do I care?" Glorda and Randall made their way down the long entry hallway, quietly pretending not to notice the butler bots had turned many of the side rooms into gruesome art displays of dismembered corpses of wildlife hunted down by the defense robots. Some of them were simple dissections. Others seemed to be attempts at actual art.
Oh, God.
Like the large wolf that had been carved into the shape of a person, more or less.
Now, they mentioned this before, wanting to decorate with extra limbs from the locals. This is, oh boy. Okay. Hold on, these wacky, goofy butler bots I'm sure they'll figure out taxidermy, and then this won't be a thing.
Sure.
I think they'll figure out taxidermy on sentient dudes.
No.
Definitely.
Shrugging off their alarm, they came to the robot's living quarters and were greeted by Anomandromidius, or whatever the fuck his name was.
I was gonna say, I thought you pronounced it pretty well.
Anno was looking solemnly out of a vast window that would have been 2 stories tall in any other building. It turned around to greet the visitors. "Hello, Glorda. How can I help you today? We're still working on the logistics behind maintaining the wild animal population that we're hunting, but we think we have a plan." "Oh, nothing so official. We were wondering, on the off chance that someone, like, say, us, were to want to go to the southern continents for some reason, how would that interfere with you folks and your hunting parties?" "Well, that shouldn't be an issue. It's unlikely we would ever come across you. They are entire continents, after all. We just want to be sure that it wouldn't be a nuisance to you or your counterparts." "I don't think it should be, no. After all, we have ways to track the locations of living beings. Be sure no harm comes to anyone." "Well, what about Mordo? He can be pretty cantankerous," Glorda asked, continuing her desperate attempt to find a way out of this trip. "Mordo is already approved. He lives in the southernmost continent, and is saying if you go, you should stop in and say hello. I think he's getting desperate for company other than the butler bots." But what about the animals you hunt? They aren't a threat to us?" Before Anno could answer, one of the butler bots burst in and shouted, "Hey, Glorda and her weirdo friend are coming up to talk with you," or whatever. As it left, they all took note of the pool of blood in its wake. Do you think it was working on their trophies? Or did it find the old man they were worried about earlier?" Randall asked. Better not to think about it, Glorda replied. Oh, that old man left hours ago. I think the butlers outside are just playing. Don't worry too much about it, Anno added.
I'm glad you established that I shouldn't be worrying about it, but if you don't mind, I think I will continue to do so. I don't know that there's anything more horrifying you've ever written than a butler bot covered in blood. Playing, yeah. They've graduated from tasers to taser swords, and now they've finally been able to put them to use.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Well, since you have no problems with it, I guess we can at least look into a vacation down there. I've no plans of moving permanently, though. Oh, you were looking for an excuse not to go. I'm sorry, I didn't notice. I just assumed you wanted help rather than discouragement, Anno said, finally catching on. I should at least warn you then that while the butlers seem to be under our control, it's truthfully of their own designs, so they could turn at any point if they wanted to. No, we all like Glordy, Loincloth said as he scuttled into the room, returning from his shift on guard duty. And what of your counterparts in the south? Glorda asked. Well, they are an angry lot, but even they are appreciative of not getting shut down when we got to this planet. Glorda had heard enough. The robots weren't going to be helpful in discouraging her, so maybe the people would. She dragged Randall along with her to go talk with the other leadership. The council had 12 members, including Brondo, Blinkus, and Ted. The former bridge crew of the Ark had all taken on some leadership roles after the landing, mostly because they were more clear-headed at the time than many of the sleepers, and they were all then offered council seats, and seeing few other exciting possibilities in the near future, had accepted. This had been a mistake, Brondo now thought. He mostly agreed because he somewhat fancied Ted, but after a clear disinterest became apparent, Brondo had found out that there were still 3 more years until the first round of elections would take place, and being the first counselor to step down would not be a fun thing to be remembered for. He looked over to Glorda as she entered the chambers and said, Well, I didn't expect to see you today. I came to ask some questions of the council. Do you know where everyone is right now? Oh, sure. Blinkus and Ted are sleeping off hangovers in the privacy of the closet over there. He pointed at a maintenance closet across the room, and everyone else is at an unveiling ceremony for some future historically significant diner. This being the location where, at some point in the future, a person will likely come to some astonishing breakthrough or have a world-shattering idea or something like that. Only time would tell, but the council felt the need to dedicate the spot now. Glorda went to the closet and roused Blinkus and Ted from their slumber, gathered the 3 remaining counselors in their chambers. Why did none of you guys go to the dedication? Glorda asked. Well, someone needed to hang back in case something actually important came up, Brondo said. Yeah, and we were passed out cold, Ted added. I guess sleeping on the job never hurt anyone, but I have some questions for you guys, Glorda said, that will be asked next time.
All right.
Yeah. I like that old man. I hope he's comes back soon.
The old man was mentioned more than once, and therefore I think it's important and will be back.
Chekhov's old man.
Plus, I want to know why his partner was screaming, because, good job. You've established that it's not his fault. But old people do be all entitled and whatnot, and they're like, hey, you should respect me and hang out with me. And it's like, no, give me a reason to. I don't. So you know what? That both very good points. Old people are unlikable, and that's why no one listens to them.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Oh.
You got it.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people be like that. Not just old people, but old people are particularly guilty of this. So, to all our old demographics out there, it's your fault you're lonely.
Oh, God. I guess just don't be entitled, I guess.
Not wrong.
And there we go.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't be entitled. Everyone's got to earn their keep. Just because you're old doesn't mean that you don't have to be interesting anymore.
Continuously prove your worth.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, now I feel like Jared disagrees with me.
In this case, money is being replaced by value. Continuously earn value or die.
I'm just saying, be nice to people. Make them want to talk to you. Don't be all cantankerous.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's it. I'm not saying prove their... Well, I mean, I did literally say that, but...
I think the old man is cantankerous in a fun way. Like a fun, senile...
Yeah.
Like, why are you here? And I'm angry.
But...
And my wife...
Oh, man, I know that something in the next episode... Next episode or two is gonna blow my mind with all the groundwork that's been laying, because that's what you do, and that's what I've been... I mean, I want to copy that, I just haven't been able to do it. I want to be able to drop a bomb one day that blows your minds like the freaking reveals that you've got. So, I'm excited.
It takes patience and a lot of avoiding saying things when we have conversations like this.
I know, but I mean, yeah, it's just,
Jared's got that self-control.
Yeah.
One thing that I also liked was Anomandromidius is nicknamed Anno, and people were using his nickname Anno before they got there. I had no idea who Anno was until... Yeah. So that was good. I'm glad that they're all on such friendly terms that they've got nicknames.
That was definitely my thinking, and not, good God, I don't want to say this name over and over again.
The robots also call her Glordy.
Gloincloth called her Glordy.
Yeah. That's cute.
I considered making it a full reference to Tomo's nickname for me by calling her Glorda E, but it doesn't slip off the tongue quite so well.
Tomo and I started playing Pokemon. We got that new Pokemon Brilliant Diamonds that came out, and both of us named our rival Jaredy.
Excellent.
Yep.
I'm glad you see me as a rival.
I named him Jaredy first, and then as soon as the game starts, he's like the most energetic and hyper annoying character ever, and I'm like, wait a second, this isn't Jared. But anyway, after I did it, she wanted her rival to be Jaredy too.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice. But yeah, no, like I said, this is I don't know if I did say this, but this was a setup kind of episode, like building up stuff that's to come more than
definitely.
anything.
But they've always got something they want to accomplish in this episode, which was the idea of moving, and then that that became secondary to all these like hints that are happening in the background. That I really enjoyed that. That was good.
Yeah, only some of them were hints though. Like there wasn't any hints involved with the butler bots. It's just expounding on their insanity.
Trying
to make it more clear that they're...
You're trying to throw me off here, but I know for a fact that you said, don't worry about them, and they're just playing, and we don't really have any control over them. Yeah. And plus I have a tendency to just not trust narrators when they tell me where they're going. We're going this way. Yeah, you're telling me we're going this way because you're trying to twist it later. I know what you're doing.
Clearly you know exactly what I'm doing.
Well, see, no, I don't. But I know not to trust what you are doing.
Fair. That's fair.
I think we all have a fair amount of worry for Randall and Glorda and that Southern confident, confident Southern continent idea.
Yeah.
This whole story was just 15 episodes just so that they could die in a hunting accident. Like, they put on their orange vests and they get out there, like, can't wait to explore the continent now that the robots promised we're safe, and then they get shot in the head. Oops.
That one robot that's like, come by and visit. I'm like, don't do that. Don't go by and visit.
No, I trust the Giants. They're cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They never did anything sinister. It's
No.
the butlers that do.
Yeah.
And even they typically do things sinister in a good-natured kind of way.
I hope the southern
Weapons.
continent has dinosaurs.
What? Why?
So that the Velociraptor with a lightsaber can show up and be a butler bot. Oh no, wait, that was created by the...
Yeah, that was created by the terraformers.
Terraformers, that's the word. Yeah. Oh, okay.
The Terraformers.
Yeah, right?
Sure.
I am terrified of Earth. There's a joke there somewhere. I'll do it better next time.
Yeah.
Like Lot's
All right.
wife, you're made of salt.
Oh,
Because it's Earth.
okay.
Anyway.
Maybe somewhere like that.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yep.
Thanks for listening. Like, comment, whatever, or don't. Do what you want, as ever.
You listen to the whole thing, so I think you should.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll be back next time with a story from Todd, and thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.